MomoCon. As you know, Overwatch is celebrating its first anniversary, and we thought and I cannot think of a better way to celebrate that than with you guys, our awesome community, and some of my favorite people in the world, and I suspect might be some of your favorites too, to talk a little Overwatch. So I know it's probably not necessary, but I think maybe some quick introductions in order. I'm Michael Chu. I'm the lead writer of Overwatch. Easily the least interesting person here, but we'll just go down the line.
I'm Lucie Pohl. The doctor is in.
This is Soldier 76 reporting for duty.
And I'm Charlet Chung. Nerf this!
What's going on? Jonny Cruz. Can't stop, won't stop.
And I'm Matthew Mercer, and you know what time it is.
I think maybe to kick it off, since we're celebrating the first year of Overwatch, I was wondering maybe you could share some of your favorite stories from this first year. Anything that particularly memorable happened, or something you really enjoyed?
The fan art. Oh my gosh. You guys are making the greatest fan art, and you guys, it's influencing us. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Fan art and the fan costumes, the cosplay that's come out of this community.
Yeah.
Oh my god, imagine this audience. These cons. Holy.
One of my favorite things that happened was I was in Edinburgh, Scotland, talking to someone that I didn't know on the street, because that's something that I do. And suddenly he looked at me and he said, "Wait, are you Mercy on Overwatch?" And he just recognized my voice somewhere in the middle of the world, far away from me, from home, and that was so wild. So yeah, that's one of my favorite memories.
For me, I think what's been surprising is how amazing the community is. All you guys and all the sharings you give me on Instagram, Twitter about how it's affected your lives and how positively it's affected your lives. Bringing you guys together, a lot of just amazing positive stuff has been flown my way, and just I've been inundated with amazing positive vibes from all of you, and I'm just getting all the good feels.
So much love.
I have to say that it's been an incredible year. Happy anniversary, everyone. So many incredible memories, but I would have to say that the diversity that I see out there, especially represented through our characters and the people that you guys choose to identify with, and that allowing us to be a community has really, I think, changed our lives. I know a lot of us have been working as actors for many, many years, but it goes without saying that this game has changed our lives as much as it has yours. And we are sort of all one with the characters that we play now. And so that has changed my life. I would have to also say that all the ships that you guys have created, I don't know if you guys see it, but like, hey, Daddy-O, and all of these things that get incorporated into the game, it's because of you guys, and we are all listening, and Blizzard is listening, and we're all in this together. So I would have to say the entire year has been an incredible experience.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon. That's the only really word I can use for it. And the fact that we get to be just a small part of this incredible creative endeavor that you guys, so by the way, like we're up here on the panel, but I want to give a big shout out for all the artists and
writers
and creators and content designers and level designers.
Nothing without that.
I've never met such a passionate team of people that are so excited to make this game as best as they can for you guys. And while we get the opportunity to be the face of it more than most, we are here representing the cavalcade of talented people that made this happen. So please, like, appreciate and understand how many people put their blood, sweat, and tears to make this for you and maintain it as awesome as they do. Seriously, guys. I think one thing it'd be fun to talk about is maybe a little bit about how you guys bring these characters to life. So going down the row, what I'd like to know, and I'm sure everyone else must know, but mostly it's just for me, is when you're getting in the booth to play your characters, what do you do to get into the mindset and the performance of your specific character?
Start down there.
Oh, we're starting with that.
Shot of scotch. A little rye whiskey, I don't know, American breakfast. For me, it's just getting relaxed, because the drive in LA traffic is not always relaxing. So it's making sure that I have enough time when I get there to kind of just chill out for a bit and, get a little more of that devil may care attitude in there.
Such a milky, buttery, delicious, like, smooth.
But yeah, so that helps a lot.
Yeah, for me, I feel Lucio's just kind of a version of me, all amped up and like in party mode. So I'm always like sipping on coffee, and when I get in the booth, I like have to get up and I have to move around. Like I have to be excited. I have to be in that mode of like free, carefree. So loose in the shoulders, but like ready to pounce at any minute and be like, oh yeah, oh whoa, So that's how I have to get into it. When I'm like losing energy or steam, I have to like be like, okay, oh yeah. So I go right back. I have to pump it up, amp it up.
The process of me getting into character is basically listening to good music on the way to work, and once I get there, just to make sure that I do my vocal exercises and that I can speak in a range that's up here, because she's, definitely more of that animated sort of voice. But I really use K-pop as an inspiration. Specifically, I love 21, and I love CL, and these ladies from Korea really inspired me for D.Va. So I think about them and getting into their mindset of fierce and sassy and sexy and sweet and smart and strong, and with all of that comes D.Va.
I like to fire a gun. Gets me right in the mood, the smell. It's great. No, it's same thing with Matt. I gotta center myself. I gotta calm myself down. I like to listen and watch some reference. I call it tuning up. Kind of tune myself into him a little bit. And then I think about being a little bit older, a lot older, and really caring about everybody. And yes, being a daddy.
Yeah, I have to second that. Definitely. Living in New York, like Matt says in LA, you have to run up and down stairs and kind of elbow people out of the way. And Mercy is so nurturing and kind, right? And she resurrects and heals people. So I really have to get into that side of me that is a mommy, not a real mommy, but a figurative mommy. And I remember Andrea said something to me in one of the sessions. She's the director, and she said, "Oh, I just want to wrap myself in your voice like a blanket and have a hot cup of cocoa." And I always think of that when I'm in the booth with Mercy. I think, okay, I have to make my voice go to that place where you just want to wrap yourself in her voice on a couch with a hot cup of hot chocolate, and then I can get to that place where heroes never die.
All right, so in the spirit of looking back, if you all remember this, do you remember what your first reaction to seeing your character was when you finally saw them? Because obviously when we're doing auditions and stuff, you don't really know, and then we show you the art, we show you the stuff. So what were your first reactions to that?
Holy shit!
What a badass. Wish I could do that. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Oh my God, she's so cute.
I was like, that's me? And then when I heard him with my voice, I was like, nobody's gonna believe that.
That was when it clicked in for me, because I actually remember seeing the art at BlizzCon the year you guys announced the original trailer, before the auditions had gone out. And I was like, I want to be in this game so bad. And I went over to the artist Sally at BlizzCon and I saw the character spread, and there's the cowboy in the front, and I was like, I could do that. That's the one I could do. And so I was just waiting for the audition to come through, and it was like a Blizzard unnamed game for a cowboy character, and he had a different name at the time, and I was like, I wonder if this is the guy. I hope this is a guy. And then I booked it, and I got a cowboy guy for Blizzard. I walked in, he showed me the art, and I was like, I get it! And then as soon as I heard the voice of the character, I was like, okay, this got weird now. Like, huh? Okay. Hope,
That's awesome.
Hope the internet likes me.
I'm trying to remember what the code name was. I think it wasn't Joel, but it was I think it was Billy McGraw or something like that.
The original one was it wasn't just McCree. It was it was something, it sounded like that. Your typical country western singer.
Yeah. That was a funny story. When we were coming with a name for that character, we had this whole list of possible cowboy names written down, and we have a coworker, level designer named Jesse McCree, and we're like, none of these names sound better than that. So we got him to lend his name, and also he had to sign over the paperwork and everything. So we basically own his name now. So
I got to meet him actually.
It's called Bob now.
I got to meet the actual Jesse McCree at the Christmas party last year. We got a picture together. He doesn't look like a Jesse McCree at all.
no, but he does have fantastic facial hair.
It is incredible.
Okay, so semi-follow-up question. Actually, it's not even related. I'm curious because when I think when a lot of people think of you, we think of you as these characters that you play that we love so much. I want to know, how much do you actually feel like you are like the character that you play?
At my best, I think I'm like Mercy, but I do feel like I have a lot of her qualities, and I do feel like I take care of a lot of people in my life, and that kind of like, I had a moment where I was like, oh yeah, I am like that actually. So yeah, I think like maybe 70% Mercy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, usually actors bring a lot of themselves to parts that you end up playing. And a lot of times it's a real reach. You gotta play some really scary guys and some demons and and all this stuff. And but this is a character, I gotta tell you, and Andrea said that this is kind of closer to your personality. And I thought, gosh, if I was a badass. No, right?
You are a badass.
Thank you. No, it was definitely, I could connect to him on a much more personal level. I actually feel it's not a big leap for me. So it's easier for me to jump into this character. A lot of the pathos, he really cares about a lot of people, feels very protective of everyone. And and a lot of hidden empathy. He's really cold at the front, but he's a real soft guy underneath. And I thank you. I feel like this is pretty close for me, and I just had to add a little age and a little tragedy. Yeah.
So you think you'd be friends with old Jack?
Almost definitely. I think he'd be like, "What the hell are you doing, fat guy?" No, he was just kidding. But no, he would be a friend. He'd be a good guy. I would be his friend. Yeah.
I'm very passionate about this question, and so I can kind of talk for a really long time about it, so I'm going to try to talk as fast as I can. I feel I don't know if it's an element of actually just having really played her for such a long time, for several years now, and being called D.Va and whatnot in person, but I feel kind of like 100% like I'm her, and it's probably a problem because I'm just kind of getting delusional about this, but I really feel like it because she's sassy, and I have parts of me that are really sassy, and she's all these things that, and whatever you feel like, funny story, a lot of people think that she was drawn after me, which I'm freaking embarrassed about because I'm like, I'm nowhere near anatomically perfect as she is, but oh, thanks, Dad. Well, you guys made me so, but I feel corny. But I do feel a kinship with her, and also just of course the fact that she's Korean and also a feminist. I don't know if you guys know this, but in Korea, the bunny was used as a symbol of feminism, and that was a huge. I feel like fighting that battle of sexism and equality, and so I love the fact that she could be young and sexy and hip, but at the same time she's sweet and adorable and feminine and smart and also strong. Despite the nerf, she's very strong. And I do want to add another story. This is just I'm going to embarrass Fred really quick, but at BlizzCon, when I first met him, I was actually a huge fan because of another game called Call of Duty, and Nikolai! And I played Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies, and so when I met him and I found out that he was my dad, according to you guys, I was floored and I was so excited. And Fred actually I was very nervous. It was my first panel, my first con, and he had really very kindly, just gently guided me through that process and built up my confidence like a dad would. And I'm getting emotional thinking about it, but that's when art imitates life, and if life imitates art. And I want to say he's very much like Soldier 76. Thank you very much.
I would say, man, me and Lucio are very, very similar in the fact when I got my audition, it said, cool, chill dude, super positive, likes people like him, and I was like, I don't even have to look at this. I'm just gonna go in and be myself. And then I went in, I just did the lines, and I remember there's a video of me online where I'm just eating a bunch of candy and all kinds of Pop-Tarts, and I'm just going nuts. And I did this years ago. I go, can't stop, won't stop, and then it's the same thing. I have a line in Overwatch for the same thing, and I'm like, I was like that. It's almost said in the same way. And I was like, that's how I am.
I heard a rumor that the role was handed to you, that you didn't have to audition for it. Is that true?
Is that a real thing?
Somebody told me that at this con. They said Lucio had auditioned for something else, and so he got the role.
No.
Okay.
No. Who said that? I worked for this, kind of.
Raise your hand or no more questions.
Come forward.
No, so I just love his positive vibes. I'm always in that same vein of spreading love. And, so.
I'm a little bit of an outlier, I guess, by comparison. McCree is definitely this very classic Clint Eastwood-esque, machismo American persona. I am distinctly an indoor kid who spent most of his life designing dungeons and playing JRPGs. So
You do it so well.
However, so to me, he's a projection of my masculine id, that part of me that I never really had a chance to really embrace as that geeky theater kid growing up. So for me, he's an aspect of myself that I never got a chance to really express and be that kind of smooth, heroic representation of the classic American male. And it's been a fun experience exploring that, as well as just the redemption arc. I love redemption arcs anyway, and his history and his character story so far that's been revealed definitely shows his history of the Black Watch, and then eventually coming over to Overwatch. And I love that arc for a character anyway. So I'm a much smaller percentage, I think, McCree and some of the other actors, but I relish it because it's so different from me, and I get to play in a space that's in some ways unfamiliar and new and fresh.
All right, it's a follow-up question for you. I've been.
Mighty fine question.
Smooth,
milky,
buttery.
I mean, if we're going straight forward, I'd probably pull myself a 5e homebrew gunslinger by this guy named Matthew Mercer he made on the DM's Guild. But that seems a little too on the nose. I probably want to play a little out of my space, so roll me up a cleric. I want to see how Mercy likes it.
Right, Mercy would be, playing some DPS warlock or something.
Oh yeah, no, she'd tear into it. She'd be theme packed all the way. I'll just blast into Brilliant. It'd be good.
Who do you think would be the most fun Overwatch character to play D&D with? Well, obviously we got Reinhardt's the DM. That seems right?
Please. I mean, please have Darren DM a game that's Reinhardt. Oh my god.
Roll for initiative!
So good. Darren? Oh,
I love Darren so much. Oh man, I mean, Reinhardt would be the best person to play because everything would be so in your face the whole time.
You walk to the barkeep! Hello!
Okay.
I feel like the part of every adventure where the adventurers are trying to get the hook from the NPCs, I feel like Reinhardt would make that go real quick.
Yeah, no, he just drives right through the narrative.
Tell me what you want me to know.
Oh man, no, yeah, Reinhardt probably be one of the most fun, definitely, if not Lucio.
Oh yeah.
Those two guys.
Yeah, we definitely, gotta get someone to play that bard sometimes, right?
Exactly. Be a damn fine bard.
I'm in.
All right, cool.
All right, I got a question for you, Fred. So recently, in our last event, or second to last event, Uprising, one of the great things we got to do was we got to go into the past of Overwatch a little bit, and we got to learn about Jack Morrison, not in his Soldier 76 role. And one of the things that I really loved about it was that you were able to actually play the younger version of 76. And I was wondering if maybe you could talk a little bit about how you approached that different version of the character.
Oh, absolutely. It's just without the betrayal. It really is. It's wonderful. You see what kind of soldier he really was, or what he really is at heart. And so that was just the dedication. Obviously, I had to kind of lighten myself a little bit. A couple of Jack Daniels less. Not too much though. But it was just the dedication to the program, to the mission. And then that was the prior, before we realized, his directives were, he got betrayed and he lost everyone. And that's what really defined him later as Soldier 76. So Jack Morrison is just a great soldier, an augmented soldier, and is dedicated to the plan. And that was kind of, I like that we got to explore that, like that he really was all part of the mission. And of course, soldiers came first, but he really was just that kind of dedicated, what you were supposed to be. We're heading on Memorial Day and all the great soldiers, and God bless you for your service out there, for all of you who are doing it. That's a big deal, My uncle was I had a lot of military in my family, and I have such respect for that. So I wanted to bring that to it and honor that. And the sadness is, oh man, that went away, and now he had to become rogue. And then his personality did have to get a little crazy later. And that's all right. Sometimes you have to get a little crazy. That's right. Get off my lawn.
So I have more questions, but I'm guessing that you all have some questions you'd probably like to ask a fine panel up here. So I think there's a microphone. There was a microphone. Now there's just
Be respectful. Don't climb over each other.
So, before I throw it over there, I have one last question for you. I think all of us have seen how the voice actors of Overwatch, you guys really seem to be like a happy family, and you're really close. I was wondering if maybe you could all just talk a little bit about the experience that you've had, interacting with each other and making the silly movies that we love.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, this is not something that usually happens, I would say, on a project where you do the voice, because you record separately most of the time. And in our cases, we live in different cities, on different sides of the country. I live in New York, you guys live in LA. And so it's really unique to get to know the other voice actors on a project like this. And then I think though, because we're all so much like our characters in one way or another, somehow we already were a family as our characters, and now we meet in person and we find like, oh my God, yeah, I kind of know you. I don't know, I feel like I know you guys, even though some of us have only met. And then, yeah, the same with Sombra and the videos we made. I think that because there's so much passion that Michael and all the creators put into it, and so much authenticity, it just somehow has this magical way of translating over to the real side of it, the human side of it, you know? And I really do think that comes down to the passion, the love, and the authenticity that goes into writing these characters and that went into choosing the voices for the characters, because, you know, I think you guys just had a super clear vision of what you needed the emotional feel and quality of the voices to be. And that comes from somewhere. It doesn't come from it, you know, it comes from somewhere within us. And so I think that's why we're able to connect this way. It's really special. I've never ever experienced this before on a project. On films it happens because you spend so much time together that you become like a family. And then you go away and maybe you don't see each other again, but this is the first time I've had it happen with voice actors. Really special.
I think a lot of that is lent to Blizzard being so open to facilitate us coming together and being a part of this phenomenon.
Very true, yeah.
A lot of video games, you know, we to some degree are involved once the game comes out, but it's mainly a very separate process. But the team that made Overwatch have been so kind to include us in the excitement surrounding this and bringing us together to meet each other and do these events together. And it's been really, really amazing getting a chance to just meet all you and continue to see you and hang out and do fun extracurricular things with. So it's a blessing, it really is.
I agree with Mom and the Cowboy. It's true. No, instant rapport. It's amazing. It really is.
And then it's also you guys, though, the fact that we get so much love from you kind of binds us together as a family,
That's
you know?
really true.
Because we see your reactions, so we have fun making these videos and surprising you and you know, interacting with you, communicating with you. So I think that has something to do with it too, because we're in this boat together, surrounded by you guys, giving us so much love that it makes it so fun and so rewarding. So thank you. You guys are all amazing.
I don't want to give too much credit to those of us that are up here and those on the cast, but I think we also got very fortunate because we have people who, you know, those of us who've been doing voiceover maybe just a few years, and this is sort of our big first foray into the voiceover world, and then we've got the veterans up here like Matt and Fred, and there's no this is kind of how it is in like the voiceover world, but we don't really bring our egos to the table, whether you know wherever our breadth of work has been. And I think we just got really lucky to be able to have a cast that with everybody who has sort of just this humility and kindness, and everybody on the cast, like, everything you see on Twitter, like that's all real. Like, we're not making it up just so that we can make you guys happy. Like, we are really, like, I just tweeted a picture of meeting Lucie for the first time this week, and yet we already feel like very close and we know each other, and we happen to dress alike on the first day, so I said hashtag twinsies, and yes, she's mom, but she's also like a sister to me now, and so I feel like that whole, we've been fortunate because of you guys picking us, and also, of course, you inputting, you know, your thoughts into what Overwatch needs to be, and us being able to reflect that back onto you.
Yeah, I mean, so much of what Overwatch is continuing to grow and become is because of the passion of the community and all of you. You know, we couldn't do Overwatch and make the things that we were making now and the things we continue to want to do if it weren't for your amazing support. So,
Yeah, I've never seen like a partnership like this. It's really great with the audience.
So with that said, I see that there's a few people who have questions to ask, so why don't we start in on this line?
A lot of times, you know, I'm using my own voice, right? I mean, this is actually, Matt knows, this is pretty much how I sound normally. It's really strange. You start there. I don't know, actually, that's a good question. What do you think?
I pitched this for Mercy, but it didn't work.
I mean, it was close on those two, to be honest.
I don't know. That's a good question, actually. What did you have in mind?
Well, are you asking more like what we imagined, or more like what they were working through?
Kind of both. Like where you said about it, and then when you all heard like what your character was, what you started with, and how you.
I think that's definitely more of a question for Michael, because for the most part, what it sounds like to me is that we all kind of, the voice that you hear now is sort of what we brought in, and we kind of landed it after that. So that's probably more of a question for Michael. What did you have in mind in comparison to what ended up happening?
If funny because if I could really describe what was in my head, it would probably make everything easier for everyone. But it's interesting. You know, it's usually a vague idea of what we like the sound of the character to be like. We think about tone and then kind of like a texture of voice, that kind of thing. But there's really this magical process that happens when we start working with the actors, where we get to hear the voice, and then I think at the beginning of usually our first session, there's a little bit of like, okay, let's play with this a little bit. Let's all.
We did that. I remember. I mean, it was kind of going. How rough do you want it? Like for my character, we did kind of get they wanted it close to my own voice, just age me up a little bit. We had a lot of Clint Eastwood, with the Heartbreak Ridge kind of thing, and then kind of like pulled back from there. And how low do you want it? I remember working with you, and it was almost like we were tuning it up. Like, how about in here? No, a little lower down here. No, he's not that guy. He's just in the middle. Just don't push. This thing for me, it was don't do too much. It was kind of, but I remember distinctly, we had to go through a few, but it was all about, for me, it was the pitch, how low and how gruff. That was kind of for that one, but for you guys, it's all probably different.
I remember that too, that we worked through the pitch of her. If she talked more like this or more like this, and then the accent, how heavy the accent would be, I think we started pretty heavy and then we toned it down a bit, So we did work through some different voices.
You were familiar with that accent though, pretty heavily before.
Ja, weil ich bin doch aus Deutschland. Ich spreche doch auch Deutsch. I'm German, so I've done that accent in different varieties, but usually more on a comical level, which is more like this, when you talk like this, and that's really funny because the Germans sound like this. Ja, natürlich, danke, bravo.
No, it's an interesting point. The audition process, when the auditions first go out for most games or series, you're given very limited information about the character, and you're essentially making choices in a void and hoping it's close to what maybe they're looking for.
Lots of gut choices.
So for me, when the auditions first went out, my McCree, based on what my booth director wanted in my agency, was much lower and much more just like rough and down, kind of chewing on a cigar. And it wasn't until the callbacks that we actually had a back and forth like conversation, like bring him up, maybe a little more personality, a little more smiley, a little more fun and charismatic, but still that kind of darker character. So his voice didn't start coming around until I got to actually talk with you guys and work back and forth. So he started a lot more hardline, ready to just shoot and kill someone, and then he eventually became a little more the guy you know today.
Smooth talker.
Milky, buttery, smooth, delicious. For me, it was like, I went in and it was that.
You didn't have to audition.
Oh, whatever. You just had candy. I wish stuff was handed to me like that. Hey, if anybody wants to give me anything,
I think I was definitely more in the boat, and I spoke too soon for everyone, so I'm so sorry, because I figured this is who you are, and so of course you just got it. But I think I'm more in the boat with Jonny here, because one of the things, and for those of you who might be pursuing voiceover and whatnot too, not to change the conversation too much, but a lot of landing the role is about specificity. So whatever you have in your mind, make it very specific. And I was just very specific about what I wanted her to sound like and what I thought she should sound like. And so once my audition is what ended up being what you guys hear. The only thing that we really adjusted, so maybe I spoke too soon, is her accent, because she's Korean in Korea, not Korean American, and not 1.5 generation. She's first generation in Korea. And so that was a little tricky because she speaks fluent Korean, but also I didn't want her to sound like she was Korean American, and like we had a little bit of adjustment to do because I didn't want, we didn't collectively want to insult anybody with a very thick Asian accent that seemed inauthentic and started becoming comical. And I don't have an accent when I speak, and so some of the challenges of D.Va throughout the years has been to make sure to keep a little bit of that accent, because after a while it's just me speaking as D.Va without the accent. So that's been the only challenge, to make sure that she has a little bit of that accent still without it being insulting to all Koreans in the world.
All right, next question.
Hi, I'm Daz. I love all you guys, man.
Hi, we love you too.
ILY.
A while back, there was a Twitch stream with Matthew and Crispin Freeman. You were playing the characters that you voiced in game, and that was really awesome. But it was kind of like spontaneous to me, and I don't know if there were other instances of that. Is there any chance of more characters being played by you guys on Twitch or any other streaming service?
I was just on Twitch last week for the first time. I did my first stream with Lava, Loud and Annoying, and if you guys go onto my Twitter, you can see there will probably be like a retweet of it. But I just did it, and I got to play the game, and I'm here to announce that on console, I do main D.Va. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the stream with Crispin was kind of just a spontaneous, fun thing, and I mean the setup is a little convoluted, and scheduling's an issue sometimes. We had a fun time. It's also trying, the thing with sometimes the gamer community can be, how do I put it, caustic. So like, we had Crispin who hadn't played the game a lot, and so we go in there and all of a sudden we have a lot of people screaming, "Winston, you suck!" He's like, "Well, I'm very sorry, I didn't mean to." And so the idea is to try and maintain an air of positivity and bring the people in there. And I will say Overwatch has a much more positive community than a lot of other competitive games do on the internet. But it's making sure that we can maintain that positivity and not say anything out of character either. We want to represent these characters properly for what both the game wants to do in Blizzard. So, we try and do that delicately and occasionally, and do it alongside Papa Blizzard. Make sure everything's kosher going forward too.
All right, next question.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, this isn't really a question, but my sister is actually running the origami panel right now, so she couldn't be here. So I was just wondering if you guys could give her a quick shout out.
What's her name?
Kiana.
What's up, Kiana?
Hello, Kiana.
Hello, Kiana. Report for duty.
Kiana, 안녕.
Hey there, Kiana.
Thank you so much.
Silvertongue Devil.
Story and world for Overwatch, and I'm a console player. But I'm wondering what the philosophy or decision was to not include some kind of specific area for us to, while we're queuing up, looking more into the story of Overwatch and read that while we're queuing and things like that.
Yeah, so this is definitely something that we want to do more of. It's basically one of those features that's often kind of on the border of getting into each patch as they come. We've done a little bit of stuff. We started adding the flavor text to the skins, but we have some plans to get some more stuff into the game so that you can read it there.
Look forward to it, man.
Thanks, Cody.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is also Kiana, and I'm a D.Va main. I was wondering if you guys knew anything about ships and how you feel about them, specifically McCree and Hanzo.
Leave that one for Mr. Mercer there.
Whoa, yeah, I mean, we're definitely aware of him. The internet is a very loud place. I don't subscribe to any ships personally. I think they're, but I support them. I think it's a really amazing part of this community because it allows people to, especially in a space like Overwatch, where the narrative is disparate enough that it allows the audience to kind of fill in the gaps for themselves for the time being, and kind of the community builds its own narrative in a space where there isn't anything concrete. And so I think that the shipping is a really wonderful way for people to find identifiers in these characters and relationships that can reflect what they want in their own relationships or things that can give them inspiration. And I think it's really, really cool. I'm very aware of the McCree Hanzo, or McHanzo as it's been told.
and I think it's adorable. I think it's a really cute thing. You know, people have been very angry about like, oh my God, Matt's a shipper of McConzo, or Matt is not. And I've seen this angry back and forth. I'm like, no, I think it's all great, guys. I don't feel one way or the other. The art's amazing and they're adorable. And that universe, sure, let's go for it.
What ship? Ship it. What ship?
Okay, thank you.
Hey.
Hi, my name's Haley, and I had one quick question and a present for D.Va, if that's okay.
No.
Okay. Okay, question. There's a lot of memes for Overwatch, obviously, and whenever that first like blew up on the internet, how did you guys react?
I personally think all of it's funny, hilarious. I love seeing it. I love all the creation. Yeah, I find it very amusing, and I'm always telling people, send me your memes.
Yeah, totally.
I'll double tap.
Send us the meme.
Absolutely, it's incredible creativity out there, and it just feeds us. Culturally, it's just great.
Gremlin D.Va!
I'll be your daddy.
Wait, on a more serious note, on the last question, well, this isn't a ship, okay? But you know, okay.
Talk about the ship.
Yes, going back to the ship between D.Va and Soldier 76. One of the things that I really liked about that was I got a lot of feedback about, you know, a lot of people saying that they don't have good father figures, and that's not really represented in the game world. And I just thought, you know, I myself had a really tough childhood, so when I saw that happening, and it wasn't just romantic ships every which way, and that there were other relationships that are familial, especially with all of us, you know, we all have imperfect lives with imperfect families, and to be able to live vicariously through these characters and these other relationships that seem really healthy and normal, I think is an encouragement. And so I'm a huge supporter of the ships, and I think that we need to continue to spread that positivity and creativity through the ships.
It's great.
Yeah, you're gonna get your...
Oh, nice.
All right. Got more questions? Looks like it, yes.
Oh no. No.
Yes. Let's see.
So it's got a little like bubble. What do you say? Nice try, Lucio, but fire beats grass. And then it's a little bubble. Charmander's Ember was super effective.
Can we hold it up?
Yeah, can you see it?
That's right, she just kicked your ass at Pokemon.
And then I'm like, oh, come on! It's cute, but no.
Get back to the gym, Lucio.
His voice is still milky, but
Great job.
I'm sorry. You guys are hilarious. Okay. So, my name is Malcolm. How y'all doing? You guys are amazing, and I am a Lucio man.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, whatever.
And I do mess with Soldier 76. I love
It's all right. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, and D.Va as well. I'm sorry. All right, I'm not.
That's a lot.
All right, I just have to honestly say I'm not great at Mercy or McCree. I'm sorry.
Speak up. In my hand.
Is this a bear?
Yeah, you do.
Hey, yeah. So my question is, I'm an amateur voice actor, and I'd like to think I'm not the only one in here. I love voice acting, and I just really want to ask, just simply, do you have any advice for me or any other aspiring voice actor out there? You know.
One of the best sources for any advice universally for the industry, and can answer that question far more than any of us could in the few minutes we have on the panel, is a website by D. Bradley Baker called iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. It's a delightful blog breakdown of so many aspects of how to break into the industry, how to hone your craft, how to go about building your repertoire and your credits, and where to look for these certain circumstances. That's a great resource.
That's great.
As well as Yuri and Tara Platt's book, Voiceover Voice Actor. Also a really great resource.
And And just in general, it's good to start with your acting. I mean, just one path is acting is a great way to start. You know, learn the theater, learn just the craft of what that art form is, and then take classes if you can. You know, learn mic technique and record yourself. Hear how you sound. Try different voices. Try everything. You might have one voice. You might have 300. But just try to experiment around. It's like music. Just play and hear it back. You know.
Yeah, I took care of that. Yeah, I took care of that step. Actually, I did get a chance to like record myself. I have a reel and stuff. I just want to make sure I'm on the right path.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Also, the guy who plays, or the actor who plays Winston, Crispin Freeman, he also has a website. So if you want to start, you know, with somebody familiar, then Google Crispin Freeman. He also has a good, resourceful website.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, good luck.
Good afternoon.
That's right.
Good evening.
Basically, my question is, who's your favorite hero and why is it Anna Amari?
I think you answered your own question.
No, seriously, it's for Fred here. Your ultimate's ready, bro. For all the soldier mains out there, give us the ultimate line.
We're all soldiers now. You're in my sights. What you talking about? You talking to me? Are you talking? I can't see you.
That's a different one.
No. What did you want me to say?
You know,
I've got you in my sights.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I've got you in my sights. That's usually when the S.
Anyway, sorry, I'm nerding out. And I just want to point out, if you ever read the comic where Anna is fighting with Reaper and 76, she's totally kicking Reaper's butt.
Johnny, how's it hanging?
What's up,
Hey! In Heroes of the Storm, when D.Va was first released, I heard there was a couple of voice lines of you having like pickup lines and stuff like that. So I wanted to hear each and every one of your pickup lines. Michael, take notes. Put this in the game. Thank you.
I mean, sometimes we do so many lines, I don't remember, like...
What would be your pickup?
Well, oh, what would be?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Do it.
No, what? Am I making it up?
You're on your own.
Did it hurt much when you fell from heaven?
Oh, man. Wait, let me think. Okay.
You got this.
No, that was too cheesy. The cheese.
Do it.
You know what? I don't know, guys. I'd be open, and I'd be real, and I'd be like, you know what? Hey, I really like you.
Works every time.
Give us a round of applause, guys.
It's hard to be vulnerable.
You didn't go for the cheese, which is great.
No.
You didn't do the whole, your legs must be tired. He was walking in and out of my dreams all night. No. Come on.
That's what I'm looking for.
I mean, technically, I already said mine in the game. I'm your Uncle Barry.
Hey, Daddy-O. That's an actual line, though, so maybe that, maybe.
Take it easy.
If you were picking me up, what would you say?
Oh!
So if they were picking you up, they'd be like, oh, well, I obviously made Lucio.
Let me get up in yo, Lucio. Oh! Let me make a joke now.
All right, I see we have 5 minutes left, so we're going lightning round now. So, quick, nice bite-sized questions.
Hello. So I heard you guys mentioning that you met a lot of people who have been cosplaying your characters.
So I wanted to know if you guys have, or would you guys ever consider costuming your own characters?
Totally.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Somebody just make it for me.
No comment.
Well, you could get together with Blizzard and their costuming department and get them to make it happen.
Hey Johnny, do you know how to can you rollerblade?
Oh, I can rollerblade. Real good.
All right.
Can I say real quick thank you to Matt and Johnny and Fred for the stuff they signed for me the past weekend. You all signed my friend's art, and he's getting more things signed from this con than I am.
Wonderful.
My question was, is there something that you don't know about your character that you want to know?
Oh my gosh.
I'll take notes.
So much. So much.
Yeah, there's a lot, but I don't think I can get into it right now. Yeah, there's a lot.
So much. Everything.
Yeah, I just. No, I think I really want to know about Lucio so much through a Lucio short.
That's a great idea.
Sounds like you're not the only one.
I have 200 hours on Lucio, and Lucio short would be my dream. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, quick question.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Quick question for y'all. Do y'all have a voice line that did not make it to the game that you like a lot, that you wish would get put in the game?
I know.
Do you know which line it is?
D.Va style.
That's the Gangnam Style one, and I think we didn't get licensing for it. Is that what?
Yeah, that's why we didn't do it.
Yes, it's my favorite line.
I hope to maybe one day get it like just for personal reasons. How do you want to do this?
Keep taking notes. All right.
All right, this one's for Matthew.
Can't imagine why.
Draw.
Matthew, can
Yes.
you say this pickup line for me?
Depends on the pickup line.
Are you from Tennessee?
Are you from Tennessee, that one?
No. Are you from Tennessee?
Am I from Tennessee?
Because you're the only 10 I see. Can you say that? Do it, McCree.
Hey, you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see.
Okay. I feel obligated to ask D.Va to say winky face for your Snapchat real quick.
Gotta love it.
Okay.
Winky face.
Wait, just one.
Wait.
Let's go.
Winky face.
Thank you so much. But do they like tell you stuff about your characters before they become like officially released? Like, for instance, when the soldier finds out that Anna Amari is really alive, do they tell you that stuff beforehand?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, we generally, by the time we're doing it, we know what's happening. We may not know a month before. We may not know like the story. Sometimes we're just as surprised as you guys once we read what's going on when we're in the booth. But yeah, we get informed.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Is that what you mean? Yeah. That's
I'd say we're about as excited for each recording session to learn new things about our character.
We don't know. Yeah, we walk in and we're like, what happened? Oh, and they show us the film. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. It's we're much a fan too. Sometimes, yeah, well, they don't tell you. No.
All right, I think this is the last question.
Oh, nice.
Make it good.
Yeah, make it a good one.
Make it the best ever.
Okay,
no
now you
pressure.
got pressure.
Come on, soldier.
I just gotta know, who do you guys main in Overwatch? If you guys do play it, which I hope you do. Also, Lucio is the best.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, I guess we'll go down. I don't really main anyone, but up, most hours played Reinhardt.
Mercy.
I love Soldier and I like the monkey.
On PC, I made Roadhog, and on console, which I have the most hours for, I made D.Va.
So this isn't official or anything, but because I haven't really gone through it, but I would do Junkrat for the lulz.
I learned to main McCree because I felt like I had to. But I've actually learned to enjoy him very much. But actually, most of the time outside from him, I play Mercy.
Mercy.
Support love, guys. I agree.
Yes.
And stay on the payload.
All right, thank you everyone for coming, and give a big round of applause for this awesome panel.
Ladies and gentlemen,